Hello, everybody. It's me, Ross, and welcome back to another edition of Meet the Opposition. Today, I'm joined by Mark Elliott from BBC Radio Shropshire, head of town's trip to Shrewsbury Town this weekend. I nearly butchered that there, Mark, but thanks for joining me. 16th in League One. Give us the lowdown on your season so far.
Bit of a kind of season of what ifs now. They flirted with the relegation zone for too long, struggled for goals for a lot of the season. That's kind of gotten a little bit better in recent weeks, but a remarkably good defensive record. I mean, an incredibly good defensive record that they haven't really been able to make the most of. I think probably the basis for a really good side moving forward, but in terms of recruitment, they've probably left themselves a couple of attacking players short, both in the summer and in January, and that means they are where they are, I think.
Yeah, like us, we've got clean sheets, but we're not scoring enough goals. So hopefully, we'll get into the predictions later. Hopefully, it's not a 0-0, which was the last time we met last season at Shrewsbury. So let's bring up the last 11 then. Of course, a 2-0 defeat against Milton Keynes. I'm straight away going to chuck out Matthew Petherton because he is a player that I cannot believe still playing League One football.
Yeah.
But he's a key player of your team. And then name some other names you think we should look out for this weekend.
Yeah, Matt Pennington's an interesting story, isn't he? I think the perils of getting lost in a big club's kind of under 23s until you're well into your mid 20s. And obviously he spent time on loan at Ipswich and various other places. And having spoken to him earlier in the season, he said what's important for him now is finding a proper permanent home where he's going to play every week and grow and develop and try and kick on. And yeah, he's been really good this season, as you might expect, you know, for the level. He's solid. They play a back three. He offers good balance on the right-hand side of that. They've brought in Tom Flanagan as well from Sunderland, who's been an excellent addition. And yeah, they're a really, really solid defensive unit. Morosi, good keeper for the level. Ebanks Landell sometimes has a mistake in him, but he seems to have gotten rid of that the majority of the time this season. And they use Tyrese Forner in front of the back five, who's been excellent on loan from Forest as well, just mopping up. So that's kind of the solid base. And then obviously they'll try and get the wing backs forward. Elliot Bennett, local boys from just down the road in Telford, and he's sort of come back home. Still only 32, so not a bad age, and adds a bit of quality there. And Luke Lee, he's been an absolute revelation. So never been a central midfielder before, but having played wing back last season and got into double figures, he's come to Shrewsbury Town now and has chipped in with goals from midfield too. And again, balanced, left-footed in a midfield three. He's good. And then they're reliant on a really hard-working front two. Then it's not often pretty, you know, that they haven't got a kind of magician in midfield or a striker who's going to do something incredible out of nothing. But what Bowman and Udo do is work really, really hard. And Udo's had his best season by far in blue and amber. So he's probably the key threat that Town provide.
And home form seems to be key. 9 wins, 5 draws, 6 defeats. Steve Cottrell will be taking on a young Kieran McKenna. Steve Cottrell, of course, a veteran of the game. Sorry, Steve, if he's watching. Doubt he is. But what can we expect? Yeah, might be. Hello, Steve. But what shall we expect for Town coming to Shrewsbury, looking to get, of course, 3 points? You know, the playoffs is pretty much over now for the Blues, but it's still a game that like to get a win to finish the season strong.
Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? In that both teams have kind of completed, or in Ipswich's case, not completed their objectives, I suppose. But there's not an awful lot to play for. It does feel a little bit end of season. Town are solid. They're not going to give up too many chances. They're involved in a lot of tight games. MK were really good on Saturday. Not too many teams beat Shrewsbury by more than a single goal. They don't win many games by more than a single goal either. I know we've had some exceptions. They thrashed Morecambe a few weeks ago, beat Rotherham well as the goals finally started to flow. But I think I would expect a game decided by the odd goal. I think teams who come to Shrewsbury have to work hard if they're going to win. I think while Shrewsbury might be limited in terms of what they do going forward at times, they do make teams work hard for their points. And I'd expect Ipswich to have to if they're going to come away with anything on Saturday.
Indeed. And I know you ain't got much time left to go, but one more sort of advice for travelling fans, myself going into the media site. What can we expect?
Well, you're a bit out of town coming to the Meadow. So if you're coming by, I don't know, Coach, they'll take you straight to the door, but you're not going to see much of Shrewsbury. If you're coming into town, give yourself plenty of time. is what I would say. And actually go and enjoy the town centre, because it's a really lovely place to come and have a walk around. So if you get the opportunity to do that and go and walk by the river and maybe get a drink or something to eat, it is well worth it. And then it is going to take you maybe, I don't know, a bit of park and ride or something to get out to the ground. It's a new ground, kind of slightly on the outskirts. So yeah, that would be my advice.
We're used to that now in League One. But Mark, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for joining me. Make sure to follow the game with us. Follow the game with BBC Radio Shropshire, of course. If you can't go to the game,
help me out.
Any other notes, my friend, before we go?
I don't think so. I think that's about it. It's a bit of a weird one in that, as I say, not much to play for. So we're kind of just ticking them off now.
Yeah. Well, enjoy the game if you're going. If you're not, follow the game with us. As I said, thanks again for watching. Bye-bye for now.